In a quiet corner of Birmingham Street, there was a small shop where an old clockmaker named Mr. Harold spent his days. The shop was a symphony of time, filled with hundreds of clocks, all ticking, all alive. Yet, tucked away in a dusty corner, one old clock remained silent, its hands frozen for years. Every customer who walked in would notice it and ask the same question: "Why do you just throw that one away?" Mr. Harold would simply smile and say, "Because one day, it'll tick again." You see, that clock wasn't just any clock. It belonged to his son, Oliver. It was a birthday gift, the last one he gave before Oliver left home after a terrible argument. Harold's pride had been his curse. When Oliver revealed his dream of becoming a musician instead of a clockmaker, Harold had yelled, "You'll never make it with those silly dreams." And just like that, Oliver was gone. No calls, no letters, only a deafening silence that echoed louder than any ticking clock. But Harold never threw away that broken clock. To him, it was the last piece of his son's heartbeat left in the shop. As the years passed, Harold grew older, and his hands, once so steady, began to shake. He continued to mend the clocks of others, yet he never touched his own broken one. Then, one rainy evening, the little bell above the shop door chimed. A young man holding a guitar case stepped inside. He looked around the shop, his eyes filled with a certain sadness, and asked softly, "Do you fix broken things, sir?" Without looking up from his work, Harold replied, "That's what I do." The young man placed something on the counter. It was the old, broken clock. Harold froze, his heart pounding in his chest. He slowly looked up and met a pair of familiar blue eyes he had unseen in 20 years. "Oliver," he whispered, his voice trembling. Oliver smiled, a hint of regret in his eyes. "I found it in the attic. I thought maybe you could fix it, and maybe us too." Tears streamed down Harold's weathered cheeks as his shaking fingers reached out to touch the clock. "I've been waiting for this moment," he said, "for both of us to start ticking again." They spent the entire night together, carefully fixing the clock, but more importantly, mending the years of silence with stories, laughter, and tears. And just as midnight approached, tick, 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 the clock's hands began to move. Harold smiled through his tears and whispered, "Told you it would tick again." If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Royal Reads. Because some things may break, but love always finds a way to tick again.